Welcome back to that handicapping show sponsored by racingtoday.com, a new online wagering service. That's racing2day.com. I'm Tom LaMarra, joined again by Claire Novak, and we'll be looking at a Friday race because of the Thanksgiving holiday, and it's the $500,000 Clark Handicap at 1 1/8 at Churchill Downs. It drew a very, very good field of 9. You could say that once you get past a couple of these horses, the race is really evenly matched. Claire was just watching the replay of the Breeders' Cup Classic on her iPhone.
Ugh.
And like Claire, I also had played the horse that I thought had gotten up to win but didn't. He was a no short. He's back in this race today. That's Will Take Charge. And we both like the horse, but we'll also look at a couple other ones in this race too. It's pretty competitive. I think the favorite will be Game On Dude, but I think Will Take Charge right now is probably at the top of his game.
Will Take Charge, huge fan of this horse. Love him when he gave me the Pennsylvania Derby exact on the handicapping show. Loved his win in the Travers and was absolutely thrilled and alternately quite disappointed that he did not actually get up in the Classic. He gallops out in front, as they say. Too bad the wire came too soon, although we're happy for the connections in Mucho Macho Man. But this is a interesting choice to run him in here because pretty much you could argue that he sewed up 3-year-old champion with the way he ran in the Classic, considering how other 3-year-olds ran. So it's not like he had to run in this race, but he's trained by D. Wayne Lucas. The coach is going to run him while they're hot, and he thinks that he's doing great right now. I'm really looking forward to him in this spot. You mentioned Game On Dude, ran a great race at Churchill the last time he was here, 2011 Breeders' Cup Classic, when he looked like he was going to win. Drosselmeyer caught him there. That race 1 1/4 instead of 1 1/8. So they're pretty much hoping here that he can revert back to his earlier season form where he went undefeated in 2013, won 3 Grade 1 stakes, and then just finished 9th in the Classic, not too good. So if he could come back here and run a great race, he could probably make an argument for older male honors, I would say.
Well, he did draw the rail, and of course, he likes to run on the lead. He'd rather not be worse than first for most of the race, at least. There is some other speed in this race. There are horses, you know, who could fire out early. Like Our Double Play is one that I think has some speed. Golden Ticket has one on the lead, but he prefers to come from off it. What's interesting about Will Take Charge is he's known as a closing type horse, which he is, but he's been fairly close recently behind pretty honest fractions, including in the Breeders' Cup Classic. He was 9th at one point, but he was never that far back. And I think on this racetrack and at this distance, I think he won't be that far back. And if he makes a move like he did in the Breeders' Cup Classic, I think he has an excellent chance to win. I don't know if there's anybody that's really going to try to soften up Dude. If in fact he ends up on the lead, you know, I could understand some people arguing that if the rail horse gets the lead and is impressed, he may stroll around the track. I'm not going to buy that in this race. I think this is a pretty good field, and a couple of the other horses that I like are Easter Gift,
The Chad Brown horse,
who ships in from New York.
Yeah.
He's won at he almost won at 1 1/8 at Saratoga. I think he's a very nice horse. He'll race a couple times and he's off, then he comes back. But I've seen him run really good races. And he's coming out of the Kelso, which was a 1-turn mile at Belmont. I don't think that's his best game. The race won in 1:34 with a last quarter of 23-3. And he never lost any ground throughout. He didn't gain any ground. But I think the 1, 2, 3 finishers in there, Great R, is it Brujo Teolleros?
Well, very good.
I
very
think
good
so.
Try, yeah.
And Himbook would probably take action in this race. I think that it was a very good Kelso.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use him, and of course, Golden Ticket made up a lot of ground in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, and he was one of the few horses that did early on the card. So those are my 3.
Alrighty, and I'm going to throw in Bourbon Courage, who's still looking for that elusive grade 1. But the one thing I love about this horse, he tries so hard. This horse is so game. And even though he hasn't quite gotten there, he's been coming back. He ran second, actually, to our double play in an allowance here at Churchill going short. And so gets to go back to distance, which he's better at anyhow. Trainer Callan Gorder sent him through a good work at Churchill the other day preparing for this race, and he was third in the Clark last year. He ran into a little bit of traffic trouble there, but I really do think this horse has the talent to be a grade 1 winner. I just think he's been the victim of some circumstances, and you know, when they hit the turn coming for home, he will be closing, and he'll be closing hard. So he would be one that I would not want to leave out of my exotic horse.
I can kind of agree because actually I played the horse in last year's Clark.
Nice.
And he ran a good third behind Shackelford and Take Charge Indy. I do think that he's a very good horse. Wouldn't surprise me at all. For show purposes, I'm just limiting my selections to 3, but you know, he'll probably end up in there somewhere. So.
Thank goodness for the Clark Handicap. We get some excitement around here before the winter doldrums set
That's
in.
correct. It's cooling off in Kentucky. It is supposed to be pretty nice, though, on Friday at Churchill. I think a high in the maybe mid-40s with sunshine, and I would expect a fast track. So that is the Clark Handicap. Of course, on Saturday at Aqueduct, the Cigar Mile, which is another really good-looking race, at least according to the horses who are supposed to go in it. And next week on the Handicapping Show, we will be looking at the Claiming Crown at Gulfstream Park. Should be very interesting. So for Claire and our sponsor, RacingToday.com, I'm Tom. We'll see you next time on that Handicapping Show. Happy Thanksgiving and enjoy the races this weekend.